What's going on, people? Welcome to the opposition preview. It's a very special one. Not only LB is here, it's the cup final. It is the time for Palace to write something in the history books, which we haven't been able to do since the beginning. The FA Cup final against Man City at Wembley. It's a big one for us. Let's find out how big it is for City. As always, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and also let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below ahead of the game. LB, I'll be honest. This is probably the most, I don't mean this in any kind of way, I'm not downplaying City, but the most confident I've been as a Palace fan due to how we are under Oliver Glasner and the previous managers that we went into cup finals with and even semi-finals with, to be fair. As a City fan, how are you thinking about this game? You've been there many times.
Yeah, tough game, man. Like, we're not in great form. I mean, like, we're 10 games unbeaten, but it's like we're not playing particularly well. Do you know what I'm saying? We've a lot of the teams in that 10. We've had a lot of teams towards the bottom. We've had some good results, don't get me wrong, but we're not playing particularly well, which is obviously not great. Obviously, it's been a terrible season for City in terms of the way it's gone. We went through that period of 1 win in 14. Our injuries have just been ridiculous. But this is an opportunity for us to lift some silverware at the end of a really bad year. And if you're a club that can lift silverware in a terrible year, yeah, I mean, that for me is just a sign that you're like an elite level football club, and the way that you operate is elite, because most clubs, when they have a bad year, don't win anything. So if we can win the FA Cup in a bad year, then I'm going to be absolutely buzzing. Obviously, it's Kevin De Bruyne's last chance of getting a silverware at City as well. So it's massive on a sentimental vibe for that. I think he's our best player that's ever played for the football club. So I'm desperate for him to win the trophy. But obviously, coming into it, I'm not confident. I'll be real right now. I feel like Palace is a tough team, some top players, and obviously, I didn't realise until you said it. In fact, no, I did actually hear it the day, actually, to be fair, that you've never won anything in the history of the club, which is mad. I can't believe that, bro. It's crazy to me. So, obviously, you guys are going to be up for it. But we'll be up for it as well, man. It's one of them. Whoever wins it will deserve to win it, man. But I'm not sitting here with any, like, real chest, man. I think it's going to be a mad, tricky game.
Why do you think... when you look at it with City so far this season, you're talking about you haven't had a great season. And it's funny because you're not having a great season. You're most likely still going to end up in Champions League spots and you're in the cup final. I think the standards for City have been raised higher. But why do you think it's been a bad run of games despite being 10 games unbeaten? Because, of course, I'm a Palace fan, so standards are a bit different. But if you're 10 games unbeaten, what is it during that run then? Because it's not like you're losing games.
Yeah, it's the way we're playing. You know what I mean? We're not really like outplaying teams, you know. So, you know what? You just watch City at the best.
Yeah.
You know, we dominate the ball, but we're not just dominating. We're actively like cooking the opposition. You know, we're smashing 3, 4, 5, 6 goals past play. We're keeping the ball. We're not doing anything with it. we've got a real problem in creativity, which obviously why City going all out for Florian Wirtz in the transfer market, as you've seen over the last couple of days.
Yeah.
We have real issue there. Our midfield is mad old. And it's just like stale, and there's just no real life there. We've had injury problems as well, but that's not the main issue. It's just I don't know. I feel that this team has just come to it's come to the end. Do you know what I mean? It's been an amazing team, but every team comes to an end, right? You know, you got Gundogan, who's now 35 in October, Kovacic who's in his 30s, Bernardo in his 30s, De Bruyne's in his 30s. You know, so it's just one of them, man. So yeah, it's what it is. Like, obviously, we're still a good team. Like, you're not in the top 4 and in a FA Cup final if you're trash. Like, but obviously, standards compared to where we've been over the last few years, we're not very good.
You're saying that, but you beat us. You beat us like 5-2 not too long ago.
But in that game, if Eze stays on side and goes 3-0 up,
it's crazy.
It's a different game, bro.
3-0, and we're talking about the first 30 minutes or so, 20 minutes.
I think it was the 25th minute or something. He scored that third goal. And by the way, he should have been onside. That's poor from him, really. He should have stayed onside. There was no need for him to be offside. If he stays onside there, scores that goal, 3-0, it's a different game. Funny enough, you did the same thing a couple of years ago, didn't you? You went 2-0 up at the Etihad, and then we come back and beat you 4-2. So you didn't get that third goal.
It's always the third goal. Like, once we get a third goal, it'll be complete. But we've had some decent games against you lot. Even though the scoreline hasn't really reflected, I thought the previous game, the most recent game that we played, we started fantastically. It was great, and then Dutch Kamara away that free kick, and then afterwards Kevin De Bruyne steps up and he has a fantastic game. But I thought just tight margins and just the quality at the end of it ended up making you win that game. I mean, that was very uncharacteristic from Palace. Normally, we never really concede that many goals away from home. Up until that point, I think we only conceded 12 all season long away from home. And then that game, we just absolutely crumbled. And then now, funny enough, we've gone back to basics. Do you think in a game like this, when Kevin De Bruyne, where it will be his last, cup final, of course, because unless he's not around for the Club World Cup, is he?
Well, it's weird. His contract ends halfway through it.
Okay, so you don't even know. So let's just say this is going to be his last cup final for now.
Yeah.
Does he start?
Yeah, I'd start him. I'd start him because we don't really have any other options. Foden's not really doing anything this season, unfortunately. So, what else are you going to do? Play Gundogan there? So probably not. So, yeah, I think he'll start. And obviously he'll be up for it. Haaland spoke in an interview this week and said, the players are desperate to win this trophy. They want Kevin De Bruyne to go out with an FA Cup. And it's not just Kevin De Bruyne. There's other players that are going to be leaving this summer. Gundogan will probably leave. Bernardo will leave. These are all legends of the club. So it's just an opportunity for me. And it's like an opportunity for these players that have done so much for the football club to leave with a trophy. You know what I mean? And I think that's important, man. I think all the players know that and are appreciative of that. So, yeah, I think De Bruyne will start, man. And, hopefully he'll deliver the goods because, as you said, it was pretty much him who single-handedly won us the game. But the thing is, though, City and Palace have always had good games. For a number of years now, like, Palace for us has never been an easy match. Do you know what I mean? And obviously we've won some. You've won some, and there's been a few draws in there as well. But I remember the game at the start of the season, 2-2. Tough game, that one. Going back to last year as well.
Good as we are meant to be now anyways. At the start of the season, we started very slowly. I mean, we didn't win a game till the ninth game, and that was against Tottenham. Then afterwards, as the season's gone on, it kind of got better. So I think the Palace side, funny enough, when we weren't as good, we ended up, being a bit more competitive. But I just feel like the last game was very uncharacteristic. I'm not expecting a similar type of defensive performance by Palace. And also, in that game, Gahey wasn't playing. He was suspended, I believe. So for this one, Gahey will be back. So for the defense, it should be a massive help. But you're talking about Kevin De Bruyne going. We've got Joe Ward going. so it's a big occasion for us. Not in a similar level of maybe talent, but Joe Ward has been a great servant. He's already lost a cup final before. Palace released it a few days ago. So I think for Palace, this will mean a much more. Why don't you just focus on the Champions League? Let us have this trophy. You've been here so many times. You've been to cup finals. You've been to Wembley. Wembley's like a home game at this point. Why don't you just give it to us for this one? I keep it moving. I keep it moving. What do you make of Glasner's comments? Did he hear what he said after you lot beat us? Okay, that's interesting. Let's mention it now. So after you lot beat us in his press conference, he was asked a question like, "What did he say to Pep after the game?" And he was kind of serious, and he said, "If he plays this system again, we're going to figure it out." And he said it was pretty much a straight face. Yeah, he said he's going to figure it out. So with Pep and his flexibility with the system, have you seen much of it so far this season?
Pep's been a bit weird, to be honest with you. Like he's made a few weird decisions throughout the season, and he's coming for a little bit of stick throughout the season for some of the stuff that he's been doing. But I'm looking at the team that we played in the last game in the game at the Etihad, and I think there's going to be a few changes. I think there'll be a few changes in that one. So it'll be different there. I don't know, man. It'll be interesting, but you got to back your manager, innit? If your manager's coming out saying, "Oh yeah, basically, if he plays like this again, we'll stuff him." Like fair play, innit? Like,
well, he didn't really say it like we'll stuff him, but he said we're going to try to figure it out. Like he basically said that. That's what he told Pep. He was asked a question. That's what he told Pep. I don't know how serious he was, and we're going to have to find out. But I just know Glasner's a freak. Like he probably has studied all of the games so far, and he's going to try to do something. But interestingly, you played Southampton, who played a back three, and you didn't end up scoring, but you did create a few chances. I saw it. It wasn't a great game. It wasn't like your typical City game. It's playing against a back three or back five, which you've done many times this season. And I saw Pep say it as well. Like it shouldn't be an excuse. Like teams do play a low block or mid block against us, and we have to figure it out. What was up with that game then? You not scoring?
That was just the players that were on the pitch, man. Like we didn't have the right players on the pitch. We didn't have wingers. We had no width, and we had no creativity in the middle because they blocked it. So that's a game where Pep came in for quite a lot of stick because of the way he set it up. He even said himself after the game, he said, I knew after 10, 15 minutes that we needed wingers, which we was all saying. I was saying it on the watch along, like, we need wingers. He said it after 10 minutes and then didn't bring them on until until like half time or whatever it was, and then brought Marmoush on at the 86th minute. So, and then he hit the bar straight away. So, yeah, we weren't good against Southampton. Really poor performance, one of the worst performances of the season. However, that's not going to be the team that's going to be playing against Palace. So I'm kind of not looking at that really. Like, if we don't beat Palace on Saturday, it won't be anything to do with the Southampton game. It'll be a different set of circumstances. So, yeah, we need width, man. We got to get our wingers on. Like, you're probably going to have to start Doku or Savio. He's got a big decision to make about Haaland and Matt, because Haaland's only just come back from fitness. He didn't look fully fit against Southampton. Is he going to start him in a cup final? And then what he does with the defense is pretty much it, really. But the Southampton game was just dead, man. Like, the team on the pitch was just not the right team to break Southampton down.
Yeah. So you expect him to go into this game with a bit more of like wingers and direct approach rather than what you had against Southampton. Then you maybe Doku will be starting, Slovenia will be starting.
I guess it depends on how he thinks Palace are going to set up. If Palace are going to sit there in a back five, and just make it pure difficult for City to break us down, then yeah, you need a little bit of width and you need a little bit of something from the wing sides. But I felt that in the last game we played, yes, obviously the balls came in from the width, but you had a lot of like players in the central areas. Like Eze was just running through the middle the whole game. So, we've got to be wary of Palace's threat. Palace have threats, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know how he's going to set the team up, to be honest with you, but I think he's got to get at least one winger in the side. At least one winger in the side for me.
What's this myth about Haaland then? About his touches and he slows the game down? Like, he scores so many goals. That's what I don't understand. And he'll probably end up scoring in the cup final as well. But you mentioned him again. Does he start Haaland or Marmoush? Is that down to just a style of play, or is it down to fitness? Like, what's the idea behind that? Because Marmoush, I guess, is a bit more of a player that can be involved in the build-up play. Is that why you?
Yeah, so Marmoush has to play. I'll be fuming if Marmoush doesn't start. Yeah, so he has to play regardless of what happens. Haaland has only just come back from injury. That was his first minutes against Southampton, and he didn't quite look there. But obviously, I think he had the full 90 minutes. He's got another week of training, so he'd probably be nearly ready. And is it worth just having him on there? Maybe. I'd probably start them both, if I'm being completely honest. But the thing about Haaland is so boring. Like, whenever he doesn't score, everyone straight away just goes, oh, Haaland's like this is a guy, who broke the English football goal scoring record in his first year. Scored mad amount of goals last year. He scored 21, 22 Premier League goals this year. He's not even been that good. Yet, soon as he's one of them, soon as he doesn't score a goal, everyone's just onto him straight away. Honestly, it's one of the most boring topics out there. This is an elite levels goal scorer. We didn't create a single chance against Forest, not a single chance, and then people blame him. So it's like a little bit boring. But I'd start them both, if I'm being honest. I'd start Marmoush off of the left, invert him in, and obviously have Haaland as the main target man up top.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense, exactly, with Haaland, because we'll have three centre-backs, Chris Richards, Guéhi, and also Lacroix. So yeah, maybe Haaland's physicality could help you maybe open up a bit of space, because we'd have to focus on him. He's, as you said, he's a fantastic goal scorer. You can't give him the opportunities. And pretty much it comes down to, if he gets the opportunity, he'll end up scoring it 9 times out of 10. But in certain games when it's not as involved as much, is because, as you said, it's not on the score sheet. So straight away, it's like, what's Haaland done? But yeah, he's a freak. He's a freak of a goal scorer. So where do we hurt City? We kind of saw it against you lot in the last game. As you said, we could have potentially been 3-0 up in the first half. Is it a case of, once again, trying to hit you on a counter-attack?
Yeah, so we are a lot better now than we were earlier in the season on transitional play, but it's still a weakness. So, like, back in the games where we won one game in 14, like, teams were going through us 4, 5, 6 times a game. That's why we was conceding 3 or 4 goals a game, because it was just awful. We've stopped that. We've reduced it, but it still happens, right? So, yeah, you still need to be clinical there. Set pieces, you scored at the Etihad on a set piece, Adam Wharton corner.
Yeah.
I still think that we're not the best at set pieces. It will help that Haaland's back in. Haaland didn't play that game, but Haaland on set pieces defensively actually is very good, because obviously he's massive. stick him at the near post,
Yeah.
and he heads nine of the balls away. So that'll help. But still, I'd be targeting set pieces. And then our fullbacks might. I don't know what he's going to do because obviously before you asked me, I said defense is one of the areas I want him to play. Nunes at right back and Nico O'Reilly at left back, because that's been our best sort of fullback pairing in the last few games. Obviously, Gavardio and Diaz at centre half. As good as them two have done, neither of them are actually fullbacks. Both of them are midfielders. So, we've seen them both make mistakes. Nunes has made some clangers this season at right back. Nico O'Reilly, not necessarily clangers, but just like, his positioning wasn't quite right, or didn't do the quite right action, because he's not a defender and he's 19 years old, and he's played like 10, 15 games for us. So, yeah, I'd say transitional play, attacking our fullbacks, and just sort of getting bodies in the area to confuse the fullbacks, and set pieces is 100% where I'd be looking at.
You mentioned O'Reilly. I thought he was fantastic against us on the ball, but defensively at times, Sarr did get the better out of him I think for a few of the goals. Like, he could have done a bit better defensively. So yeah, I do think we'll target.
That was one of his worst games actually defensively. That Palace game, Nico. He's not been that bad, but that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you can, I think you need to create overloads on that side. You know what I mean? Confuse him, because he won't fully understand what to do. That's not diss on the guy. It's just because he's not a fullback. He's never played there in his life.
He's only 19 as well.
He's 19. He's never played there. So, like, obviously, if you're 19 and you played left back your whole career, and then you got a guy next to you and then you got the other guy overlapping, you probably know what to do. You know what I mean? With instinct, first nature. But this guy will have doubts. And then maybe he's meant to go with the man, he doesn't, and then it's too late and you're in. So I'd just be rinsing him. Nunes is probably better
more
at that.
Experienced. Yeah.
He's better at that because of the experience, but he's just prone to an absolute clanger. Like, just a stupid pass into midfield and gives the ball to the opposition or some shit like that. So, but yeah, that's what I'd say on that.
Yeah, well, we've got Munoz on the right-hand side and Sarr. So I think, once again, I think with the wing-backs, we'll try overload in the wide areas. It did work. And the problem is, in the second half, if you notice in the game, you might not remember, but Glasner actually changed his system, which he rarely does. He went two up front. He took off Mateta. He went three in midfield, and you lot just outrun us, because we don't normally play like that. We normally play two midfielders. And we went very defensive. The good thing that we was doing all game long, and I understand it because we ended up, bottling a 2-0 lead. So I think he kind of panicked there, was that we was hurting you out wide. But in the second half, we put Sarr more centrally, and it's much easier to defend against. So I think that was a problem in the last game. So I think it's good that he got that out of the way, because he can't repeat the same mistake in this one, because you lot were just outrunning the midfield. So he needs to think about another game plan to try and make sure you lot don't do what you've done. And I think it's just Kevin De Bruyne a masterclass, to be fair. So maybe in this last game he could be up for it as well.
I think Pep will. I'm going to say the word bottle it, because I think that is the word. I think he won't play O'Reilly at left back. I think he'll move Gavardio to left back and put Akanji, who's just come back from fitness, and put Akanji at centre half with Ruben Diaz.
Is he ready though, Akanji?
Yeah, I think he'll be ready. He'll be ready. But he's not been good this year at all. He's been really, really poor. So I actually think that is, you're strengthening your wide area, but then you're weakening your middle area. And obviously you've got Mateta up top, or whoever's going to play as a striker. Then that's going to be interesting for them. So it'll be interesting to see what Pep does. I want him to stick with O'Reilly and Nunes and trust the players that have got us here, and trust the players that have played the best football in the last month or so. But I think what he'll do is, I think he'll end up trusting the experience rather than the form.
Yeah, but I guess it didn't really. I mean, in the second half, you dominated us, even with O'Reilly there. But yeah, so it just depends on how he views the game. I wonder what Glasner's going to do as well. Glasner will keep the same system. We're going to play we're going to play 3 defenders and then 3-4-2-1 with the wing backs pushing into midfield. So I think we'll keep the same system, but we kind of change our approach, especially with our pressing triggers, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens, because at times you can have Mark Gahey from the defense actually push forward and get onto one of the midfielders.
And he didn't play the last game.
Yeah, he didn't play the last game. Yeah, so that could happen. And Gahey was a massive miss, because when teams are pressing us on the ball, he's the best guy. Like, I think he's
mega, mate. I'd be amazed if like a European team don't come in for him.
Yeah, someone's going to come in for him this summer, and we're kind of banking on him kind of leaving at this point. It depends. There's reports saying that if we do win this game and get, of course, we'll get Europa League if we do win it, he might sign another year extension just to play in Europe with Palace. But I think sooner rather than later, he's going to leave. The question is where. We don't know where, because you don't know what's happening with Liverpool. And you don't need to strengthen your defense as well. So it depends.
I've shouted him a few times on my streams and been like, yo, what you said about it? Because I actually really freaking rate the guy. I thought when he played for England at the Euros, I thought it was absolutely exceptional.
He's very composed. He's very good on the ball as well.
Yeah, no, I was
not so gay right now. We're Cup final. I'm just saying, if we win the Cup final, I don't think anyone would really care. But like out of all the big teams, I'm just thinking about Chelsea potentially. I don't know. He was already at Chelsea.
I think there's a lot of the big teams need a centre half this summer.
Yeah. Apart from Arsenal, I guess. So
yeah, maybe Arsenal don't, but like Newcastle do, Chelsea do, Liverpool probably need another squad like rotation and stuff. So I don't know, man. It'll be.
You want like a bit of war if he was to leave.
He's only got a year left on his deal as well, isn't it? Apparently.
Yeah.
No,
when you score predictions, I didn't do it for the semi-final because we're not getting into that. It's cup final business. No score predictions around it. Any Palace players that you're worried about? Is it just like some Eze, Sarr from the previous game that you noticed? Or
if Akanji plays at centre half, then Mateta. I feel like if Diaz and Gavadio play at centre half, I feel like the danger will come from the Eze's more. You know what I'm saying? But otherwise, your fullbacks, Munoz, dangerous player. Eze obviously is a dangerous player. Adam Wharton's an interesting one because I've literally never seen this guy play good. I've never ever. No. So do you not remember when I messaged you about 4 or 5 months ago and said, yo, D, talk to me about this Adam Wharton guy. Everyone's gassing up every time I watch him. He's trash. I watched him earlier in the season against United. He got hooked off at half-time. Yeah, I've watched Palace in quite a few games, and I think
he was injured then.
Yeah, I watched him against City the other week when we beat you, and he took a good corner, got the assist. But other than that, I thought it was majorly poor, disappointing. But then it's funny. I was going to do the watch along of the Palace Villa game in the semi-final, but I think I was away on family meal or something. And I come back, done a stream at night, and everyone went, "LB, you missed an Adam Wharton masterclass." And every time I don't watch him, apparently he's mega. But like, I'm not saying I've watched him pure time. I probably watched him like 5-6 times. And most of it was at the start of the season. And that's when you told me he was playing with an injury or something.
Yeah. He was playing through, he was out for a while because he was playing through an injury, and then we had to sit him out, and then he had the surgery. So it took longer to recover. Funny enough, for this game, he's 90% available. So he picked up an injury against Bournemouth. Was it against? No, not Bournemouth. Forest. At home on Monday night, last Monday. And then he missed the Spurs game because we didn't want to risk him. But Glasner said, we'll see. Well, at the time of recording this today on Wednesday, he should be back in training today because the players are training today. They had the day off today.
He'll be right.
So he should be 90% available. So let's see. But I think if he's fit or 90% available, Glasner plays him. He's very good on the ball. He's very good on the ball. But hopefully he can step up then. It's like
I just know for a fact that he's going to come and drop a wildy for the first time ever against like.
Just let us have this one, LB man. Just let us have this one. You can go do your treble next year. You don't need it. This is like another day out for City.
Nah, but at the same time, bro, we can't be the first club that you win a major, innit?
Yeah, but we're not Spurs. We're Palace. It's not like we're a massive club. It's like it's happened. Wigan's beat you. No one cares about that. No one's saying, "Oh, look at the City." Wigan. You won everything. No one cares if Palace beats. Like this is your awful season. This is a season. It's like what on earth is going on, and you're still up there. You're still up there. It's not like it's completely terrible. You'll bounce back next year. You'll bounce back.
I need it.
You don't need it. No.
I'm addicted to the trophies. When you start, you can't stop.
I know. But you don't need it. Need is a wrong word to use. You want it. We need it. We need it. How do you need it? You literally want everything.
Well, I need it. Trust me, man. Have you won one game in 14? When was the last time Crystal Palace won one match in 14?
One match in 14? That's a bit crazy.
Bro, you know how mad it was, bro. One win in 14 was the worst. Bro, it was the worst form of any club in like Europe at that point, man. It was mad. Southampton have better form than us.
You don't need, bro. You don't need it. I don't care if you won one game in 14.
I
One
need
game
it,
in 14
man.
means nothing.
Those 3 months were stressful. Have you ever been 3-0 up against Feyenoord with 15 minutes to go and then drew 3-3?
Oh yeah, I watched that game. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You've had a bad season. Wow, normality. You've had one bad season.
We got beat
Bad,
5-1
by the
off
way.
Arsenal.
What?
We got beat 5-1 off Arsenal, bro.
Yeah, we have as well.
I need this. Trust me, man. I need it.
You don't need this.
This is
Let's
not a
start.
want. This is not a want, bro. I'm telling you
No,
now.
this
I'm
is a
telling you
want,
right
bro.
now.
You
I
can't
need
say you
this.
need an
I
FA.
need it.
You don't need an FA Cup.
need
I'm
it in my
sorry,
life.
you cannot convince me. You're literally in a Club World Cup in a few months' time. Go and get that Club World Cup. You haven't won that. You won that.
Now, this is heritage, man. You know, the oldest club competition in world football.
Yeah, but
this is heritage.
You're here anyways. You're always here. It doesn't matter. Next year, Premier League is heritage. Champions League is heritage.
Oh, we lost it last year. We lost the final last year. I'm not holding 2 L's in a row, bro.
Yeah, you lost to Ten Hag, which is kind of mad. But
I've been through a rough year, mate. You know that.
Yeah? Shut up about rough year. You're talking to a club that's never won a trophy before. This guy's trying to gaslight me, saying you've been through a rough year. You didn't. We won one game in 14. How about winning no trophies in existence? What's that then? What's that? A rough year? Exactly. Stop all of that nonsense. But look, we're going to be up for it. I think the Palace fans will be up for it. I think City fans will as well. There was them talks in the semi-final with the empty seats and stuff. But I think the game sold out, right? It must be.
Yeah, I think City have done like 40k. We got FA returned a load of tickets, so I think City have done like 40k for this one. So
yeah.
I don't know what the number is, but it's a lot.
Yeah. Well, look, we'll be up for it. The games are approaching us. Let's see. Let the best team win. I've got no problems with City or all the big 6 clubs. But yeah. All the best for the rest of the season, apart from this one. Give us this win, and trust me, we'll give you all the wins. You can have the double over us next season, 6-0. Guaranteed. Just have it. Just give us this one, and then you can win the Premier League and Champions League. But that's it from us. No score prediction. Make sure to check out LB channel. The link will be in the description down below. Don't send us your score predictions because I won't be reading them. In all honesty, I'm not in the mood for score prediction right now ahead of cup final. We didn't do it for the semi-final, and we ended up getting a positive result. Like, subscribe, and until next time, up the Palace.